at the time. But Annie has been played a lot this week by teams practicing. So maybe
you can never rely on those sources.
No,
though,
you're not, I'm never sure.
They throw all kinds of curveballs to us when we're not
Kobe's
on camera,
fell for them before.
So we're here into the bans and picks then. First two coming out quickly for Gambit. Going to be Nunu and Elise. RNA, of course, has played Elise in that jungle as well, actually, in the last week. Nunu is another RNA champion. Thresh taken out against Jerry. No surprises from that one. Other side, Evelyn, a champion that Diamond has been really happy with. Twisted Fate taken out because it's Twisted Fate.
Absolutely. Will Shen get banned out? No. Jace will go, which means will Darian select Shen? Will he take it in that top lane, or does he have something else up his sleeve? Remember, he's played Lissandra a few times in that top lane as well, so may even just take that one to spite alternates, even though Frelunl's not even here.
Well, it allows them to maybe have Shen, as you said, and I could already hear Kerp in the other room just let out a little, oh, not again.
He's like,
really?
Please,
do I have to do it again? But that might not happen for them here. Gambit may take him away on the first pick, but there's still quite a few options open. Alex Ich, as you said, he's Orianna, which we were kind of surprised to see him bring out in Moscow, although
he didn't die though, did he?
No, and he's 2 for 2 with that Orianna as well right now, so he's certainly capable with the Orianna. And we said, you know, we don't see a lot of that out of him, which we haven't, apart from maybe on his stream where, you know, there's a million more games than we get to see on a weekly basis here. Right now, Darian cycling through, and it will be the Shen, as Kerp says, yes.
Kerp, I think, maybe doing a dance in his seat right now.
There he is,
look at it, look, Aaron is just like, yeah, okay, you get to play something else, and it will be Vladimir, it seems. So you said he's already picked up a win on it. Looks like he's going to be happy to switch straight away. Of course, well, we'll see how that works out for Gambit. Darian on Shen, you know, the split push in Shen. Oh, no, they're not going to go for it just yet. They are going to lock in the support Fiddlesticks, which we have seen Jay replay a few times before, and RNA are going for that. Jungler, this time around, not going to be Lee Sin. I wonder if come on, Diamond. Come on, you can do it, Diamond. I asked you this morning, I was like, I want to see you playing Lee Sin. He's like, he's still not very good. I'm like, well, the whole of Korea seems to disagree with you right now. Can you just throw us a bone?
And the top team in the European LCS seems to disagree with that one as well. Apparently not today. Yeah, to touch back on the Fiddlesticks, we've seen it twice from Jerry. He's picked up wins both times with that, so statistically good pick for Jerry now that Thresh has been banned out, which has really been his main champion to go to. Jarvan actually in the jungle here. Interesting one from RNA. You know, we've seen him with that Lee Sin. Hecarim seems to be his fallback when he doesn't get that Lee Sin, but seems to be a Jarvan today.
And there's the Sona again. Gambit always make sure they get that Sona. Looks like it will be Ashe as well. Genja, of course, taking that Tear of the Goddess, which he has been a few times. I prefer to see him on Ashe. I do like him on Ashe, honestly. He is a very good AD carry. Always positions himself perfectly come the team fights. And sure enough, just about like the Empire days, he's going to be taking Ashe again.
And they may have taken these two champions here to hinder alternates communication. You know, a Sen and an Ass in one game could be difficult for Aranea to get across to the rest of his team. Just kidding with you, mate. I hope he watches this one later on. He'll have a laugh at that. But alternate now on picks 3 and 4. What are we expecting here? I'd say the AD carry to come out here for alternate. You'd be expecting them to leave that mid lane champion for the last pick.
Well, we'll see which way they're going to go. Of course, we did see them highlighting that Vlad. Will be, Creaton, of course, making a return, but more importantly, Kale coming out. That will probably be the mid laner. That may well be White Knight's choice.
You'd expect so. I mean, it surprises me somewhat that they've gone for that right at this very stage right now, if that is the mid laner, because they have final pick, but maybe they're confident enough in that and how it's going to go down. Let's see what Alex Ich basically picked up here right now. That's going to be the real interesting one. Of course, what Diamond brings out in the jungle. There's a Tryndamere, which I'm not falling for because Darker has really continued the trend of Edward here as well. But you know, Tryndamere is not exactly the most surprising pick anymore.
But Alex did actually play it at the All-Stars, if you remember rightly. Yeah. It didn't go very well. Didn't go very well at all. It's not quite the Void Boy Tryndamere that we've been seeing, but definitely did play it. Of course, we have seen the lane switches as well. There is potentially Rise. See what the final choice will be. Rumble also selected. This, of course, could mean that Udyr has been played a lot by in the jungle, and it will be Diamond on Udyr again, which means that's going to be Alex Ich on Rise and Darian on the top lane with Shen again. So what will the choice be? Could it be Zed? It was Vladimir selected earlier on. It will be Zed locked in. So now the question is, which lane will Zed end up in? I suspect the top lane. But we are seeing Kurt with Kayle so far.
Now, I think they pretty much tried to bait Gambit into thinking that Kayle was going to be in the mid lane, which, as I said, surprised me that they picked it in so early if it would have been the mid choice. In the end, they're going for this Zed, so it's going to be up against Alex Sitch, a player who knows a lot about Zed, but Ryze is also his favorite champion. We saw it on the pro player spotlights. He went for that Ryze in there as well, so definitely handy with the Ryze.
Yeah, if you think back to the Moscow 5 days, back in Intel Extreme Masters Kiev, when they first really broke through into the scene, it was see hero, kill hero. Ryze was the champion that he was using. It was just boom, room, prison, explode. Absolutely everything diving on him. And again, we're seeing Udyr from Diamond. I still yet to be overly impressed by Diamond's Udyr, but I'm not going to question a guy that has set the jungle afire so many times. This time, of course, Spirit Guardian not available. Will be available next week, though, ladies and gentlemen. It will be coming out. But we are on 3.8 patch, and as he ponders, I thought he was going to go into the whole meditating thing going on there. I was just like, wow, maybe it technically is his meditating pose. But he's got Darian alongside him. That's going to be a comforting factor for him. He knows what to expect from Darian, good or bad.
I think good on the whole. I mean, this is a player that he's been sat next to a lot of times. You know, these are two players that have obviously been in this roster all the way back to the days when they were the Empire team, when we first really got a sniff of them qualifying for that Intel Extreme Masters Kiev event with a crazy Nunu in the bush thing going on there, which is to this day still known as doing an Empire. I think pretty much the only thing that Empire have got going on right now when it comes to League of Legends, either way. But, you know, if we look at how Gambit are doing right now, yes, they had a terrible week last week, but they had that substitute in there. Before that, they were on a hot streak. They were 6 wins without a defeat. So, you know, technically, this is a very strong Gambit right now. This is a Gambit on a roll.
Maybe they needed Vitaly just G'ing the crowd up for them, you know. Comrade Gambito! Here we go. It is going to be Gambit gaming as the blue team, and the red team will be alternate, and we are about to get things underway. Will Gambit be able to get a grip of yourself, man? Will Gambit be able to pull themselves back a win here, or another win, I should say, against alternate, and close that gap on the top spot?
Well, we now know who's going to be running the stage if we go to Moscow again. Thanks for that one, Demon. So, we're going to see quite a crazy level 1 as we saw in the last match. Probably not there as the flag comes down on towards Diamond. And we should talk about how he's gone with this Udyr before, because he's kind of shied away from that Phoenix Udyr. And you can see again there, he's gone Tiger first. Yeah, just like he did before, leveled up the Tiger, completely maxed it out as well. And we'll see whether he goes that route again. I'm sure Jat will be watching with absolute attention, because it's interesting to see the junglers, they're all starting with the Doran's Blade as well. We haven't got the same from RNA this time around, but a lot of junglers, certainly in the Korean team as well, from the OGN, the last 3 days have all been going with that Doran's Blade start. So it's definitely a trend that's picked up. Maybe, just maybe, there's a few changes afoot for the jungle. But as it stands, it's looking like it's going to be a stalemate. Not quite the exciting start we had for Meteor Makers. Not quite, but a lot on the line here. Let's not forget, it's 1 versus 2 in terms of standings here in our summer split. So there's a lot on the line for both of these. One alternate looking for that revenge against a much more equal crowd, I guess we can call them here in Cologne. A fantastic crowd nonetheless, but certainly not quite as Gambit biased as, of course, we had over in Russia. But right now the start has come down. We can see there that Diamond will be getting that red buff first of all as he hits level 2 with a pickup of that, going straight into his turtle stance for number 2. On the other side, Aranea took away the blue.
So 2v1 lanes, it's going to be top and bottom. You can see here, it is going to be Creaton and J-Reed versus Darian. We'll see how that one works out. Darian returning from his illness will get bullied out of the lane straight away as I mute myself. Well done, don't know why I did that. But the bottom lane, it is going to be Kerp on Kayle, 2v1. We'll see how this works out. It's something we've seen Dyrus actually running quite a lot of in the North American scene. Not too sure whether he's done it too many times for TSM itself. J-Reed actually getting caught by Darian. Look at the damage he's managing to put back on J-Reed, of course. Still both only level 1, and Fiddlesticks not the strongest at the early levels.
No, but the good thing about Fiddlesticks as he goes through is obviously going to be able to get that health back a little bit later. And that fear is always something you have to be careful about here coming in for this. So we shall have to see as Aranea is right now sniffing around the middle. Alexic had already gone to the bottom side. That ward on the corner bush, I think, just about spotting Aranea's position coming in. That's what I touched on before this game. The fact that Ferelnord and Aranea had put so much work in together for the victories as White Knight gonna take a blast there from Alexic. And that's the danger at these early levels, that White Knight is going to be susceptible to what Alex can throw at him.
Well, we also see Diamond, he's coming down to this bottom lane. We also saw the volley catching on to Kerp. He's already been slowed down. Diamond's going to come straight in. He is backing well away from this one. It's going to be that 3-minute 30 turret.
Yeah, already onto that one. Aranea is actually going to try and come in and stop this one happening. They should realize that that's going to happen with the fact that Kerp has come around the side. They're going to actually going on towards Genji here. There's a lot of minions, but the damage is decent, and they turn it around on towards Aranea, and it will be first blood for Diamond. The flash away from Genji. He will be finished off by the Ignite, though, and that will be a killer piece at the start, but it is Diamond who got the first blood.
Yeah, absolutely, and Gambit picking up the 2 assists, going to help them out, give them the advantage, but with the AD carry down, it stops the turret push, which you can see Alternate trying to do themselves on this top lane, but just with the 2. They have put damage down on towards it, but Kerp, he can't hold this wave of minions that keeps on coming towards him. As much as he tries to take it around, they're going to flash straight in and full on aggression. Diamond getting straight on towards him.
And that's the danger. I think it was Jason that touched on it last week, of this whole Doran's blade start makes an Udyr at these levels very, very dangerous. When we saw there, just a flash, the stun in onto him, able to lock down that Kayle. Obviously doesn't have his ultimate available right now at level 3 only. So a very good little bit of play there coming out of Diamond. And right now he's going to be able to recall right under the nose of Aranea.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, you can see it's going to be White Knight getting caught out, flashed away, but one more shot should do it, but White Knight flashes. He will get away from that one, but Alex, it's really bullying this new boy in the mid lane.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the points of focus here for Gambit as well, to get White Knight, make him nervous, keep pressuring him there, as Gambit are going to see Darien stunned up here against the wall. Not quite got the damage to finish him off just yet here with that level 4 Vayne.
Well, we have double CS now for Alex because of that pressure he's been applying on towards him, 37-16. Also, though, the AD carries, look at this, Kraton, he's been getting free farm in this top lane against Darien, 42 CS to 18 of Genji. Genji gone for that double. Doran's blade, though, of course, did get killed off. Where is Diamondprox going in the bottom lane?
He's going back down there once again. We see Aranea having to get away, just getting stunned up as he slides through from that. And just the presence of that man-bear-tiger Phoenix Turtle is very, very scary at this point, especially with those 2 kills that he's got. He's got himself the boots and the Spirit Stone here already. He's got a leading CS, and he's going to be going in for a very, very early dragon. Something that we saw him go for. In fact, the last one of the last times we saw him playing that Udyr was that sticks in your mind is the flash into the dragon pick to pick up the dragon at a very early stage. This time, not going to need that flash to get things underway, and that will be a 6-minute dragon for Gambit.
Aranea didn't want a piece of that.
No.
He was even got a level over Diamond, and he was just like, I do not fancy fighting you right now. I'm just going to let you walk away from this one. But we saw the first turret of the game going down, so Alternate managing to pick that one up. That defense in that bottom lane proving successful, and they have managed to switch those lanes around. So they've held on to that turret to start with here. So we'll see how pivotal that can be. We can see the 1,000 gold advantage for Gambit, of course. Diamondprox doesn't have flash, so he's simply doing a drive-by on White Knight, and White Knight's just forcing him to back away. Gets all aggressive on him, throws that bear stance down, and look at the damage he just plowed down on White Knight.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's that Doran's blade at the start. The fact that he's actually got a lot of levels on him there as well is a pretty strong thing to have in. But you've got to be scared of this Udyr now. He's performing brilliantly down, being in the right place at the right time. Managed to flash in for his second kill right underneath the turret, which is, again, something that you can do when you've got Turtle stance to rely on there to tank up the turret as well.
So it's just dawned on me. I remember why Diamond was so bad on Udyr the other week when he played it, because there was so much crowd control. There's barely any crowd control here for Alternate. This may well be a serious problem for him. He's going full on aggression here. He doesn't care. Stan United's going to come out. Darian's going to get the Shadow Dash, catches both of them. J-Reed's going to be the focus of target. He's going to get dropped down, but we see Aranea coming in for the protection. The Ignite will take him down. It was Darien that picked up the kill, and now they're going to clean up the blue buff.
Yeah, looking for a blue here, and again, perfectly executed by Gambit. Just when you've got Diamond, you think, right, Diamond's on his own. We can kill him now. We can... Shen. They forgot about Shen, and that was the key point in that one, that Darian got himself in there, he just hit level 6, and as soon as they did, they make the play happen, and this is just fantastic all-around play. This is the Gambit that had 6 wins in a row without answer. They are looking so very good here.
Yeah, 2-0-1 on Diamond already. He's coming back towards this top lane. He's starting to become a problem across the board already. That aggression maybe is paying off. And Alexic, he's sniffing around. He wants his blue buff, puts the ward on Banana. He's found Kerp, though. Kerp tries to come in and interrupt. He's like, get the hell away from my blue buff. It is a very angry Diamond Prox right now. He's on a mission.
On a mission, and you can see with that Tiger leveled up how quickly he's beasting through everything there. That blue buff going to be picked up for them. And now White Knight here in that mid lane. He starts to claw a bit of CS back, but he's 20 or so behind still at this point. Alexic already got that tier in there and has started stacking that one up as he goes. And that's only going to be helped out with the fact that he has that blue buff with the mana regen and those cooldown reductions for him to really be having fun with that. Right now, J-Ree was just stood on top of a ward, so Genja knew he was there, not going to be bullied away with that one. And credit where it's due here to Genja as well. He was miles behind Creaton when we looked at CS earlier on. He's now actually ahead of him. Yeah, they've actually managed to pull it back in there. Darker getting caught a little bit there, but straight away the volley forces Creaton back. Wanted to go aggressive on that one. Look at the mid lane though. Alexic versus White Knight. It is a big difference starting to separate here. We do see Aranea trying to sneak down towards this bottom lane, try and create a play, but once again, look who is coming. It's the Bearman Pig. He is off to the side of this one, and every time you hear that switch out to the bear stance, you've got to be very scared. Actually standing on top of a ward here, alternate backing off, just giving that one away, and just in the background you just hear that. Always danger where that's involved, and he's coming back in, going back out, coming back in. He knows that there's a ward there, but he can control them right now with his position. It's quite simple. He's growling at them, and it's keeping 3 members of alternate at bay. That's all he's got to do, Diamond. Honestly, just take one look at him, and when he speaks, you just think, is that right? Is that body doesn't come out with that voice? Something's not right here. And now in the game, he's just growling at them as well. That's his favorite shout-up line as well, everyone. Goes into a bar. All the men disappear. Oh, the top lane, though, we see Kerp trying to switch it round, but his ultimate's already run out. The aggression continuing on Darian. Darian, I feel, was just trying to bait him out a little bit more so he could shadow dash back on towards him. White Knight forced to get away from this one. The arrow is going to catch on towards J-Ree. Bear stance coming straight in. Alexic picks up the kill. They can't get the damage on towards Diamond. They're going to cataclysm down. Crescendo comes out. He's safe. Alexic picks up a second. Now can he get a third? He's going on towards Creaton. He's already used the flash, so they will back away, but it's a 2-0 again for Gambit. They're 5-1 up. And look at that, alternate used everything there on Diamond. Absolutely everything. The death mark even from White Knight. And now Aranea going to be caught out. He's not escaping that one. It's Alex that picks up his 3rd kill. And this surely will be an outer turret here in the middle lane. The first one of the game, actually, for Gambit. But with that Tiger Udyr in there, they're not getting rid of that one. Actually, the bottom turret does go down first. That was, of course, very low from earlier on. And Gambit execute another perfect plan. And that was one that alternate really started on this on that middle turret. And they just didn't have the damage to go through the Udyr. And it was the arrow from Genja at the bottom lane. Yeah, that was fantastic. He just carried on farming. He didn't even come up to fight it. But the fact that he can just continue his farming presence and have an impact on the fight from the bottom lane without even flinching was immaculate. So Genja, he's gone back and got himself the BF sword. We're seeing, obviously, Blade of the Rune King trying to get built up by Creaton, but he's falling behind. And remember, this is Creaton, who used to have the insane KDA at the start of the season. He's not managed to make any impact so far and is falling way behind in terms of CS. 86 to 58. He had a 30 CS advantage at the start of the game. He's now lost that and gone completely the opposite direction. So Genja's really brought himself right back into it. You can see he's got 1,200 gold advantage, but Alexic, he is absolutely beasting the mid lane. 3-0 up. 4,700 gold almost built up, and yet we see White Knight, bless his little cotton socks. He's the new man that coming into it to replace Pharrell Lord as a temporary substitute, but he's still shy of 3,000 gold, almost 2k behind his mid laner. Yeah, I'm really happy you talked about the KDAs there as well, because Creaton was only behind Freeze coming into this, who, you know, he's played 2 games that they won last week NIP, so it's kind of biased to look at it as him being in the top. That will, of course, change this week. And you've got Kerp in 2nd place, so Alternate got 2 men up there in that KDA as another Dragon goes down here for Gambit. After that, it was Genja, who is actually in 4th place, but he's had a week off. So, you know, Genja is a big man in this setup for them. He's ahead in the CS now. That arrow across map earlier on, a very big play. Genja, of course, hasn't had a week off. I'm talking about Darian in that one. I somehow got myself confused for a second there. But either way, Genja, for me, has stepped up a lot for this Gambit team. He was kind of the quiet one that wasn't talked about too much in this Gambit team, and right now leading the KDA, at least until this game where Alex is romping him home.
And if you think back to the spring split, Gambit were the only team that really cared about those KDA stats.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised before the end of this game to see Creaton focused heavily. It's like, we're not going to end it until we kill you at least 5 times. So we'll see where that works out for them. There is 3 members of Gambit lingering off at the side, but they're going to get spotted out by RNA with that Demacia standard. And we do see Creaton. He's getting free farm in the bottom lane this time around, so maybe he's going to buy himself a little bit of time. It's buying alternate time as well to keep that lane push, keep them away. While this is all happening, Genji continues to build that tier of the Goddess. We know as soon as he gets around the 30-minute mark, he's going to have that Muramana ready and waiting to be exploded upon alternate.
Yeah, we've got the Rod of Ages now done here for Alex Ich, and let's see the extra AP and that health and whatever you're going to be stacking in there as things go along. On the other side, a couple of cutlasses coming out, which of course will be turned into those blades of the Ruin King in a little while. There's Diamond, Darker just waiting in the jungle here. Oh, it's all gone a little bit quiet there, but they're just waiting as Diamond is going to charge around the corner here. Puts a stun down onto the red buff, and he's like, come on, RNA, do you want to play? And RNA says, yes, I do want to stick in for this one. Will it be a bad thing for him, though, as Kurt here on the top lane? Well, not even a contest there. Let's get back to red buff. Now, so that's the interesting part. Diamond did actually take that there. RNA got no red buff, as Darian going to get hammered away here by White Knight and by Creaton, but he's Shen after all, and he's going to walk off from that.
Yeah, he managed to flash Shadow Dash. I thought Diamond was actually going to come around the side, but chose the wiser path because, after all, they're still split pushing. Alex is at the top, Genja's down the bottom. Gambit are just pushing both the bottom lanes and the mid lane right now. Alex actually maybe had to take that turret down, chose not to, instead just to wipe out that lane. So he's managed to come up, kill Kerp. Alex is in dominant form right now. He's got 4-0. He's already managed to get that Rod of Ages. You can see him at the top lane. Nobody dare go near this man right now.
No, and for good reason. We saw what happens to Kerp there, who's got an ultimate that can keep him invulnerable. I mean, that is a lot of damage that's coming out from Alex Ich. You can see that Genja, constant slows coming out. He's got a BF Sword and double Doran's Blade in there as well, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage. Meanwhile, in the top lane, you can see it in the bottom left of your screen, Alex actually flashing in onto Kerp once again, and he's gone very low and forced away from that lane. Alex is just bossing this top side of the map.
Absolutely bullying him away. 50 CS advantage over the mid laner of White Knight so far. White Knight can't get close to this one. He's in all manner of problems. He's trying desperately to get some damage out there, but Gambit, they have all 3 lanes completely dominated. We saw Creaton, while that was happening in the top lane, also come down, have a little poke towards Genja. Genja just turned it back around again. Kerp comes down there. Alex Ich pops the ulti, pushes him straight out of lane again. Not a chance to get close to this one, while all 3 lanes continue to be pushed. Alternate have no answer to Gambit right now.
Now Gambit, especially Alex here in this top lane, look at his CS difference. That is just fantastic. And he's pulled that one up at this point. They're finally going to come around and try and cover this top lane, but Darian using the Shen to push this mid lane out. It's Genja, who's free farming once again with big waves on the bottom side of the map. He's now got a 12 or so CS lead over his opponent in this one. He's going to be going back here with a good amount of gold. I think he's been on those items for quite a while right now, so gold should definitely be with him, as it should be with Alex Ich. Look at that, 1900 for Genja, 2.7 thousand gold for Alex Ich to spend on his way back.
Well, while everybody tries to go up and focus on Alex, he backs away. The mid turret gets pushed. It's Shen that's actually pushing the mid lane. He's meant to be a split pusher. He's going up the mid lane while everybody else split pushes. Everybody's doing their own thing right now. Look at the gold between Diamond and Aranea as well. Look at that. It's nearly 2,000. It's over 2,000 gold now, in fact. He's just managed to stretch that one. Over 3,000 gold now for Alex versus White Knight. There is huge gaps across the map right now. It's nearly 10,000 gold across the board. Just 17 minutes into this game. 3-1 in turrets. Alternate finally trying to collect themselves together and push on towards this mid turret, but they can't do anything. Bearman Pig is there. They dare not go near him.
And one thing that's really important to how this is going for Gambit right now, if we look down at Genja and look how he's playing that bottom lane, he's completely frozen it away from Creatine. And as I say that, he auto-attacks them all down. But he's been doing that for a while now, making sure that Creatine can't come down and farm because he's too far away from the turret. They can't put those wards down for him to be safe from the likes of the Udyr, who's got some prolific speed coming around into the lane. And for the Shen even that could just come in and join him right now, Creatine and Diamond may go head-to-head. Diamond's just waiting around for the blue buff. He's got Darker there to help him as well. And they are going to start off this blue buff. And I don't think Alternate can even dream about challenging for it. They're not.
And just to switch around, blue buff will get taken by Diamond. Alex continues to push the mid lane now. And now Darian off on the top lane. Darian actually getting aggressed upon a slight bit there by Kerp. He still fancies his chances there, although still I'm unsure on that one. But a 4-man Gambit down the bottom because they know there's 2 members of Alternate at the top. There's no chance they can fight for this one. It's going to be an inner turret for free for Gambit.
Yeah, inner turret at least. Not sure if they'll quite push through for the rest of it. That's going to be an interesting one as Kerp again bullied out by a Shen. Like, it's not a good scenario to be in for them right now as Creatine actually getting slowed here by the action. Gambit are going to be going through that inhib turret, already taking a good beating. Alexic and the crescendo from Darker, they're ready to pounce on that one, and Alternate and not trying to put up any challenge to this one. There they finally go. Aranea going in, crescendo lands on 3, and they're going to pounce through, and White Knight is right in there though on top of the ultimate from Jarvan. As they do decide to back away, it will actually be a 2-for-1 there. Well, Gambit come out ahead of that one, and they're going to keep pushing for this.
They can still go on towards the inhibitor turret. There's nothing to stop them, and they will take it down. They're just walking through the base of Alternate right now. They tried to fight them, they delayed it, they waited, but of course that's Stand United from Darian. The moment he comes out there, that's the inhibitor going down inside the 20-minute mark right now. Gambit are absolutely on fire. They have a point to prove. They were not happy about last week's results. They were not happy about losing that 6-game win streak, and it's showing. They are absolutely taking it to the #1 team in the European LCS right now.
Well, I'll apologize to you, Demon, there, because I wasn't expecting that they'd have what it takes to push straight through onto the inhib turret, never mind the inhibitor itself. But, well, Gambit proving me wrong once again, and they are looking in ship shape right now. An 11,000 gold lead, and that's only getting bigger as they pick up another dragon in this one. And they've just not really, Alternate have not really been a starter. They've been a bit of a non-starter in this game. Gambit really getting it early on. White Knight, I feel sorry for him in a way because he's just been hammered in this mid lane early on there. We saw how he had to flash away from Alex, a man who is now up to 180 CS. That's 60 CS, I can't even count now. 60 CS more than what White Knight has. 5-1-1, and he is just on form with this Rise and just showing that, now he doesn't play Rise for us very often, but when he does, my lord, is it scary.
Alexic has proven that he's not a god and he can actually make mistakes on the blue buff there. 3 times it reset. Yeah, 3 times it reset. He's like, God, you die, will you? But he's still stacking up that tier of the goddess, or effectively the Archangel staff, into the Seraphs. He has, of course, just got himself the Glacial Shroud, is it, right now? And that's also going to cause problems because now Creaton can't even do any damage towards him, and White Knight's going to struggle as well because he's starting to get that armor out there. Once that Frozen Heart's built up, he's just going to be a tanky mess. Nobody could deal with him as he was. Kerp tries to come out there. Darian just bullies him straight out. That's another inner turret going down for Gambit, and there's not a great deal Alternate could do about it. They've got super minions pushing in the bottom. It's a perfect split push for Gambit now. They know the super minions are going to push for themselves. You can see that big giant wave about to end towards the base now. And Alternate, they're going to have to deal with this one, or they're going to have to deal with Gambit at the top.
And it looks like they're going to try and clip onto Darian, who just shadow dashes away. Darker here taking damage from Kurt, but he's not too scared of that one. Jerry's going to get burst down by Alexic. And they've not really lost any health in the meantime. Meanwhile, Genja is pushing up the middle lane here. Here comes the arrow across. Not quite the arrow from earlier on, but at least he's used it, I suppose. That's a bonus in my books. And this inhibitor turret is going to fall down, and I can't see how they can stop the inhib either.
They're taking the middle one as well. You can see Genja starting to do work on that turret as well. This inhibitor will go down. Kerp's desperately trying to get close, but I think Alexic really wants to find this kill. He's going to get the root. That's going to be the Rune Prison. Crescendo comes across. Invulnerability will come out. White Knight's going to get focused. He tries to turn around. Will he have enough to pop? Darian will go down, but Kraton and the rest of the team are collapsing like a deck of cards right now, and Gambit are pulling the aces, and you can see it's going to be the Nexus turret going down. Gambit Gaming are going to rip apart Alternate in a record speed finish here. Fantastic play for them. 22 minutes gone. They have this game sewn up already, and Alternate are going to start this week off with a loss.
Amazing from Gambit. I did not expect them to come out from this. My point was, last week's Gambit that lost both of their games was not the Gambit that won 6 games in a row before that one. But I wasn't expecting a week off for